Today we're doing a Saturday Matinee on the Pick of Destiny. Tenacious D, one of the greatest bands ever. And we're going to get into it. So, we're done. We're done with the ads. You got anything to add?
Yeah, go to naturalhabitatpodcast.com.
Naturalhabitatpodcast.com. If you're not already there.
Right after the episode or during the episode or.
That's a good plug. I forget to do that.
All that.
All right, cool.
The Natural Habitat Podcast. The Natural Habitat Podcast. The Natural Habitat Podcast.
All right. And sound speeds.
What does that mean?
I don't know. I felt like I needed to say it at the beginning, but maybe I don't.
I don't even know what that means though.
It's something about matching up the sound with the video, and I think it has something to do with the thing they click. You know, a little click thing.
Huh.
Because they line the click up with when the thing drops when they're editing it, and then that way everything else is lined up in the rest of the scene.
Huh.
There. Now we learn something new about film every day. I don't know why.
Yeah.
Another one in the can. Another fact in the film can.
And we don't film shit.
We don't. But we today is Saturday, so it's only right that we talk about film because it's a Saturday matinee, my friend.
Nice.
And
wipe the film from your eyes.
Mm-hmm. Or from your glasses. If you wear glasses, we don't judge.
Yeah.
You know, we're not going to make fun of you, call you 4 eyes or anything like that. You still have 2 eyes, just like everybody else. They're just a little bit bigger.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's all. Just more beauty to see. Tenacious D and the Pick of Destiny is the movie today. I almost got stuck.
That's where we're at.
I almost got stuck in some sort of fucking whining grunt thing.
Huh. You were in the stuck of destiny.
Yeah, and I'm glad that it didn't happen because it's the pod and not the sod.
Yeah, that's right, the pod.
So one of the biggest things that jumps out from this movie to me is Ben Stiller's character.
Yeah.
I always forget about it, and then when I watch it, he'll just fucking sneak up on me.
He's awesome. He always gets the coolest cameos, if you think about it. You know, like, every time, it's always, like, something super ridiculous, and it's hilarious.
Yep. And, you know, fucking Ben Stiller just schooled it in this movie as his role. And there was a lot of fresh cameos in it. And, you know, for people, I'm sure everyone's familiar with Tenacious D. But, you know, they started as a band in Hollywood. Got a show on HBO. HBO wanted to take away their creative control and said that they would give them 10 more episodes as long as they weren't producers on the show. And they told them to eat dick and made a movie. So that's kind of how this all came along. And, you know, Tenacious D are a couple of lovable fucks. Jack Black and Kyle Gass. They're underdogs. You root for them. You see a lot of yourself in them. And they're just regular people, you know what I mean? So I think this is definitely a grade A film for us to cover.
Yeah, I think it's awesome because they're really similar to us. You know, like they just did their own shit. And they continue to do their own things. And they never really took it too serious, you know? They just knew that this is what they wanted to do, and they just did it and had fun doing it, you know? And it's pretty cool that they're still doing it. Mm-hmm. You know, they're not caught up in the fucking bullshit like most other artists are, and the dramatics of fucking whatever politics come along with whatever genre you're in or whatnot. You know what I mean? They're just like doing their thing. They're just on their own road.
And like we were talking about before we recorded, you said something about how their music, they can do more stuff as a band than, you know, a lot of bands can do. Yeah. And they have a lot of skill, and you know, they both are amazing guitar players. Jack is like a fucking crazy ass singer, And Dave Grohl does drums on a lot of their music, which I didn't know.
Yeah.
And,
yeah. I mean, like, they're uber talented. You know,
So-
they just look like jokers.
Yeah.
You know, so that's why people never took them serious. But they never intended to be serious. You know, like, they got a serious skill and a serious talent. That's
And
what they do have. And
they potentially could, rebrand their image, make a new studio album that's all serious and not a joke album, and come out as a band, and I think they would do good. You know what I mean? But they're not going to conform to society's ways. They're going to stay the Tenacious D.
yeah, and we need people like them. You know, we need whether it's like comedy or whatever you want to label it. I don't even really think it needs a label. I think it's just their own thing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, they just have this musical thing that they do, and it's awesome. Not a lot of people do it, and I think like more people should do it because it's just a way to express whatever talent you have through music. You know, and it's cool to see like that he's not just an actor. You know, that he has like a legit background like we do, in actually doing things that he loves to do, and you know what I mean? It's all part of it. I think it's like all part of like the mystique that they have, you know, as their little group, you know. It's like, and they have a huge fan following like any other group, so it's like,
Yeah.
it's definitely a good counterbalance to a lot of the other shit.
Yeah. I mean, I don't think that I actually found out about Tenacious D until the movie came out, or shortly before the movie came out. And I remember a lot of people, a lot of my homies, like older brothers and shit, they all had like, VHS tapes of Tenacious D's show on HBO, and people would watch it all the time, and everybody was already keen to the culture. You know what I mean? Like stoners that were older than us.
They've been out forever. Remember, we seen them on fucking Biodome and like all these movies from the early 90s. You know what I mean? Like, they've been out for a long time. This movie came out in 2006.
Yep. Biodome was actually their first on-screen performance.
Yeah,
I found that out. That was their first like big screen performance. And Biodome, which didn't we cover that in the early days?
Yeah.
Of Saturday Matinee?
That's like a fucking, what, 1992?
1992, and it's currently standing at 5% on Rotten Tomatoes. So the movie did not do well, but still a classic.
Biodome's like one of my favorite movies.
I know, mine too. That's why it's like the third Saturday Matinee we did. Yeah. But apparently the world does not agree. But I would like to argue with that with our play count and be like, well, 150,000 people agree that Biodome is an amazing film. Yeah. So, what do you say we get into a little smoke sesh right here? I got some music queued up.
What you got?
I got a track that is featured in the beginning of the film with the one and only Dio. And this is also Meatloaf's return to singing on the screen. He hasn't sung in a movie since Rocky Horror Picture Show because he wanted to be a serious actor. But they convinced him to sing. I'm not going to play that part. I'm just going to play the end part that's super dope that we all want to hear.
The fact of Meatloaf ever thinking he could be a serious actor was like his first mistake, you know, because I don't think any role he's ever played was serious enough that anybody would like take him as like the dramatic actor to go for or whatever, you know, like he has this like thing about him where he's just a joke. So
yeah, it's like when Adam Sandler tried to make Punch Drunk Love. Nobody wants that.
Yeah.
Give us Happy Gilmore, you know what I mean?
Even though I'm sure they're all good, you know what I mean? Like, I'm sure everything he did was good or whatever. It's still like he's just not somebody I'd take seriously.
Yeah, I agree. So everybody out there, heat up your nails, flick your bics, snap your pics, and hashtag them NHP Smoke Sesh, and we will all smoke together.
In the city of fallen angels, where the ocean meets the sand, you will form a strong alliance and the world's most awesome brand. To find your fame and fortune through the valley you must walk. You will face your inner demons. Now go, my son, and
fucking kickapoo with hunger in his heart, and he journeyed far and wide to find the secrets of his art. But in the end, he knew that he would find his counterpart.
In the city of fallen angels, where the ocean meets the sand, you will form a great alliance and the world's most awesome band. And it happened. In 1988, Jack Black met Kyle Gass, and they formed Tenacious D. 1988.
Yeah, that's crazy.
That is crazy. And
then the cool part about it is look at how long it is. That's 20 years. 20 years goes by, 30 years goes by, and they're still doing their thing, and fucking it paid off tenfold. You know what I mean? It's like that's a proven story right there to go off of one, like a dramatic length of time period. You know what I mean? Like you never know how long it's going to take for you to make it.
yep.
You just got to keep doing your thing, and then eventually you'll get there.
Yeah, so their TV show looks like it started in 2000? No, 97 is when their TV show started. So that was 10 years that they were together, a band, making music, and didn't get anything until 10 years later. They finally got their TV show. So, you know, they stuck at it.
They were already together for 10 years prior to that, too. So, you know, like that's 20 years before they saw success.
Yeah. So their origin story, I found out, is in 1985, they met as members of the Los Angeles-based theater troupe, The Actors Gang, which was created by Tim Robbins, who is a dope actor. He plays the crazy bum in Tenacious D that they meet outside the Rock and Roll History Museum, or as he calls it, the Rock and Roll History Museum, with his thick-ass accent that he just overdid it. And fucking... So he started this theater troupe, and Jack Black and Kyle Gass were a part of the troupe, and that's how they met. And a few years later, started the band, and they were all hanging out one day. They were jamming, smoking weed, and watching basketball, right? And the TV was on. Marv Albert was announcing the game. He was like a famous basketball announcer, I imagine. And he said the phrase, "They're showing some Tenacious D out there." And they overheard it as they were playing. And that's how the name Tenacious D came about. They loved it.
That's crazy.
So, you know, I love how they rebranded the story in the movie as the ass birthmark. And that's how the name, because it's a lot better story. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah, for sure.
But that's the real
It's really
story.
funny.
I hate to, blow away the smoke and mirrors. But that's how it happened, my friend.
Either way, still cool.
Yep. And another thing that, that surprised me was Dave Grohl, how I was talking about. I just found out that he played drums for a lot of their music, but he also played Satan in the movie, which is dope. And he also got to play drums for that song we just listened to with Ronnie James Dio, which I'm sure was like a dream come true for him. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and also John C. Reilly was Sasquatch. It doesn't say on here, but somewhere else I saw it said that.
Yeah, that's fucking crazy, man. You can't even tell.
Yeah.
It
I could
me,
tell. I was watching it last night.
Yeah.
And I was looking at him, and like some of his voice sounded a little bit like it, but not all of it. You know what I mean? And then when he would do like his eyes wide open and like, oh no, I was like, it's got to be him. I kept thinking about it, and then I forgot to check the credits at the end of the movie. So
Yeah.
I'm a stoner.
I don't know. Was it him? Or
I think
do you,
it was.
Do you just assume you think it was him?
No, because I seen something else say that he did something as Sasquatch for them.
Yeah, I know they had a lot of Sasquatch stuff going on. Yeah. John C. Reilly, a longtime friend of Tenacious D, appeared as Sasquatch in the Sasquatch episode of their HBO show. Although he's not credited as playing Sasquatch in The Pick of Destiny, he is listed in the credits as Sasquatch researcher.
Yeah, so it probably is him.
Yeah.
'Cause
Yeah.
I never saw no Sasquatch researcher.
Right? I didn't see any fucking Sasquatch researcher. He just runs into him when he's high. That fucking scene was amazing, dude. Like, how he's just singing all awesome, and like the music is all great, and they're going down the Strawberry River, and then it just flashes back to him during, like, in real life during his trip.
He can't even say a word.
Yeah, and he's like climbing the tree, all like, I'll get on your back.
Yeah, it's super funny.
Man, they fucking
I like
schooled it.
how in the whole movie is just like an album, basically. It's just like song after song after song.
Yeah, it's like a
basically-
musical.
Yeah, it's basically just an album made into a movie, and I think it's like really, really smart of them. I don't think people were like ready for it when it came out. I don't think people really like knew what they were doing or like had a clue. You know, people probably just thought it was like some shitty movie where they're singing or something, but that's not really it. You know, like every song was planned out. Everything was like it all follows under like the way that they do things, and I thought it was really dope.
Hell yeah. Another thing that's fresh is that the beginning sequence, the audience is baking sequence,
Yeah, I like that too.
where they have the bean burrito and then they fucking smoke the joint and fart all over the place.
Yeah.
Well, that was animated by the same guy who animated their video for Fuck Her Gently.
Nice.
Remember the whole like animated Satan video?
Yeah.
And that is Ren and Stimpy creator John, I'm going to say this wrong, Crucifelici.
Nice.
But John Kay, that's his name. John Kay, the creator of Ren and Stimpy, was the director of their video and made that little intro thing for him. So that's another thing. They have a lot of connections in Hollywood. Growing up in Hollywood, Jack Black being who he is, he can call in a lot of favors. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and they did it. They really did like the whole movie real local. Like they filmed all of it at Venice right there, and I don't know. You could tell. You could look at all the places. It's like I'm sure it probably didn't cost a lot of money, except for like the animation stuff, I guess. But
yeah, there was something I read about the gas station that they pull up to at the end of the movie was used in Lethal Weapon 4. Oh yeah, the car chase at the end of the movie ends in front of Uncle Al's Seafood on the corner of 1st and Elm Street in Long Beach. And that's the same intersection where Riggs and Murtaugh blew up a gas station in Lethal Weapon 4.
nice.
So they did a lot of like iconic locations, you know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah. And that's like a Hollywood thing, you know. Like I swear, living out here has like ruined a lot of movies and TV for me because like I notice everywhere that they film at now.
Yeah.
Because I see all these places all the time, and they'll be like, "Oh, the show's filmed in San Francisco," and then everything they show is like all Hollywood shit, and I'm like, "Wait!" And then they cut to like helicopter shots of like the city or like the bridge or some shit. I'm like, that is not fucking Frisco. It's like it's crazy. It makes you like once you see it, you can't unsee it. You know.
Mm-hmm. But it tricks Middle America, people that have never been there.
People that don't live here for sure. It's like you would never even think about it, you know, and totally like hits you once you live here.
Yeah. So I have this clip from an interview that was recently done with Jack Black, and he tells a story about when he found out that he could sing. So
Play that shit.
we're gonna listen to this.
Anyone in the world at one point must have discovered that you can really sing, right?
Yeah, I do remember a time when I was like, wait a second, I'm actually pretty good at singing.
When did that happen?
It was in high school. I was auditioning because everyone, auditioned for the different parts in the school musical. And I auditioned with a song from Pippin. It was Pippin. And I was singing a song by the leading player, Glory. And it was just like, glory, 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 glory. I did it better back then.
That's
But
pretty
the thing is, when I found I found that extra gear, I was able to throw it into overdrive with some like gravel and some power.
Yeah.
And I was like, what is this? I have a Lamborghini I didn't know I possessed.
Well, I wondered. I thought if I said that, you'd be like, no. But you
No,
actually
there was a
discovered it
moment.
like that. That's amazing.
And I remember there was a girl that I was attracted to in high school, a dancer, and she was like in the room. She was auditioning next. And I remember after I finished my audition and I was walking, she was looking at me in a way that she had never looked at me.
Really?
And I was like, I will continue to sing.
Forever and ever.
Funny.
Forever.
Yeah, I mean, he's got the right idea, right?
Yep.
I'm sure, like, everybody has these intentions, whether it's, like, voiced or whether it's fucking subliminal or whatever, but people want to be famous for those type of reasons. They want to get the gals, or they want to fucking, get the attention that they don't normally get or whatever, and for him to just, like, immediately be like, yeah, that's what I want to do now. You know what I mean?
Yep.
It's nature, bro.
I will continue to sing.
Yeah, it's nature.
Yep. And, that's dope. That shows that he actually is, people don't take him seriously, but Jack Black actually is a singer. Like,
Yeah.
he's a very good vocalist. And what he was explaining was like it was what, an actual singer would, how he would explain it.
Yeah,
saying
like
how,
that. What he just sang right there was complete bullshit compared to like what he could actually do. Like he was just downplaying it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? For sure. The dude is mega talented. Like you could listen to a lot of his shit that most people haven't heard, like maybe album stuff or like, you know what I mean? Not like the average everyday Jack Black fan would even know about, and he's got fucking uber talented shit.
Yeah. And for some reason, I think that a big thing with Jack Black is that, I don't know him or anything, but it seems like he overthinks a lot of stuff, and he's I read that he vowed never to write a script again because of the box office failure of the film, and it made him lose confidence. And that's not the only thing that I read about him, worrying about what haters say and what critics say and stuff like that.
Well, I think that's natural. I think a lot of people don't show it because they're like their management and like their teams and whatever don't allow them to show it. But I think like if everybody was left unchecked to their own emotions and shit, who's to say they would win 9 times out of 10? They wouldn't. You know what I mean? It's like a lot of these real famous people have this super support system. They have publicists, they have managers, they have fucking agents, they have all these things that do all these jobs for them that create these bogus statements, that create these fucking fake illusional things, you know what I mean? Compared to like what their actual feelings are. I guarantee they see all the hate and feel it just as much as anybody else, The shit that people say nowadays is intentionally to fucking hurt your feelings, But they do it thinking that you'll never see it.
Yeah.
They think that so many people fucking message you or say things that you'll never see it or hear it or whatever. It doesn't matter. It's just like you trying to be funny or whatever your fucking douchebaggery is. You know what I mean? And like I seriously doubt that, nobody just brushes that shit off. And for him to like be aware of that and acknowledge that shit, I mean, like I would, you would, you know what I mean? Like anybody would, but it's like, do you feed the trolls or not? Or like, you know what I mean? Because when you respond to somebody, that means that it really bothers you, and then they kind of win, you know what I mean? So it's like best to like kind of have a team. I think all these implements are for reasons, you know what I mean? And these big stars that do these things are fucking smart.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm not sure what kind of team Jack Black has. You know what I'm saying?
I'm sure he's got people. I guarantee he's got people. He's fucking been in a lot of movies and does a lot of shit.
So another dope thing that I think they did with this movie is that in the end of the movie they have this giant car chase in Lee's car that they borrowed, his student driver car. And I found out that Lee is actually their original fan. He like plays himself in the movie.
It's dope.
And he used to go to all their shows, and he was in Kyle Gass's band. Before they were Tenacious D, Kyle Gass was in a band called Trainwreck, and he actually wears their shirt in the movie.
Yeah, I was wondering what that was
Yeah,
about.
I thought it was for like the weed. You know what I mean? I thought it was just like a weed reference. But that's his old band that he was in with Lee, and Kyle Gass was the lead guitarist and the lead singer, and his name was Clip Calhoun in the band, which is a ridiculous name. And fucking so they do this whole car chase in Lee's car, and it reenacts the video game that KG's playing in the beginning of the movie ish, when Jack calls him and tells him that he made $10 with his rock, and he tells him to buy a 10 bag. Well, when the phone's ringing, he's playing this like police chase game, and he has the whole like old school steering wheel in his lap. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it plays out that part of the game in the end of the movie, and it's almost like the video games like help him in real life. You know what I mean? But he lost in the video game, and he also crashes the car in the end of the movie, so he loses both times.
Nice.
So it's not like it helped him get away or anything, but it was a cool reference.
It was his destiny.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was his destiny. He couldn't beat it in real life, and he couldn't beat it in the game. He was just no good.
I got a clip from the movie.
All right, lay it on us.
Oh! Oh, man! Oh, my God. Okay. That was the best thing I've ever seen. Who are you?
Name's Kyle Gass.
Kyle Gass. Dude, will you just teach me that one thing that you did where you're like, man,
I'm not giving free guitar lessons today. Why don't you stand over there?
right here? You're awesome.
This next piece by Johann Sebastian Bach.
Whoa.
It's entitled
What the
Mireille
fuck?
in A minor.
Check this out. This guy's insane. Man, you guys stupid. Don't you know genius when you see it? Man. Anyway. My name's JB. Just rolled into town.
Would you give me some space?
Yeah.
You're kind of cramping my style.
Ah, dude, I'm sorry.
And you're driving away my crowd. If you just move it back, like I asked you earlier, I think things are going to be a lot better.
Okay, fine. Sorry.
Thanks.
He's got the cool hair.
He's the man, let me hear you applaud. He is more than a man, he's a shiny golden god. If you think it's time to fucking rock and fucking roll out of control, well then you know you're going to rock the block. You fucking sock my fucking cock, cause when you roll, you fucking tool all of the fools out of the jewels. Cause if you think it's time to, then you think it's time to fucking rock. He's going to kick your fucking ass. And you know his name is Kyle Gass. Rock.
Fool just like rock out in the middle of nowhere. You know what I'm saying? Just chilling in Venice, place that I walked by a million times.
Yep. And fucking, that's just that connection that they have, and they're all like looking at each other in the eyes, all extreme.
Yeah. Yeah. Getting
And-
all intense with it and shit. And it's cool, dude. I wonder if any of those people were like people that were just there in Venice that day, and they're like, "Hey, you want to be in a movie? Sign this," and just walk by and don't look at the camera.
Right?
I mean, like,
The battle
Whoops.
for gold.
Battle for Gold.
The battle for gold. God, we're so bad at this.
That sounds like some Tenacious D shit.
That'd be dope to just be walking around in Venice, and then all of a sudden you're in one of the dopest fucking stoner comedies ever.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
With the most minimal weed references.
Yeah, there's a couple in there. I know that at the end they turned it into the Bong of Destiny.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was,
And I know that they did it perfectly when he tells him to go buy the Wake and Bake extra crispy or whatever, a Bob Marley extra crispy from Wake and Bake Pizza, and then it just cuts to the next scene, and they're on the couch, just eyes barely open, and it's like you could tell that it's like around 4:20, like around 5 o'clock in the afternoon. By the way, the sun's coming in, and it's
they
like
do
afternoon.
Smoke at one point too,
and they're just like high as fuck. And
later on, they actually like smoke together and shit.
Yeah, they like at the end when they rip the bong.
Yeah, maybe.
Or is there another spot?
Maybe it is at the end
that I'm not remembering.
I think maybe I don't know. I just watched the fucking movie last night. Yeah, I know at one point that they did smoke together though, but you could tell like they weren't even like really smoking. There was like nothing in it. I don't know. It was funny. I always look at that. I always pay attention to that, and I think like probably every stoner does because we're like searching for validation. You know what I mean?
Yep.
We're like we want that real shit, motherfucker. What do you mean? Don't give me no bullshit. I don't want to see no fucking whatever oregano or whatever your shit you're smoking, you motherfucker.
It's,
I want that real shit.
Yeah, I don't believe that they smoked oregano in the Breakfast Club.
I still don't either. I think it had to be like weed or some shitty fucking like Mex weed or something, like some fucking swag or something. Back then it was swag for sure.
Yeah.
For sure.
I think that what it is that when we were younger and, you know, we didn't know as much about weed and the weed culture, and we would watch these movies on VHS on our shitty ass TVs that were standard definition. And when you saw them smoking something, you would just guess what it was. You know what I mean? But now that we watch this shit remastered in HD, you can clearly see the consistency of the weed, if it is weed, like what kind of smoke they blow out, if any, if it's fake movie smoke, and, you know, like added in later in post. And that's also my thing, to add things in later in post. They can't just do that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They got to talk to me about it.
Well, they actually do it though. We don't. So
yeah, I guess you're right.
Speaking of weed, here's the weed clip.
All right, and then I got a clip myself.
All right.
His fingers move. Blinding speed within my mind, he'll plant the seed. I'm proud to be amongst his learned flock. He teaches me, beseeches me, and when I've learned all of his lessons, then I'll know the ancient secrets of his rock. Yeah. Oh, yeah. I did it.
Hey, you Rich KG. You know what to do.
Hey, he's blown out a hit on the answering machine.
Yeah.
Here, pick up. Here, Jable, pick up, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I did it, man. Check it out. Do you hear that?
The training's working, man. I made 10 whole bucks with my rock.
Good. Go score me a dime bag.
For what?
$10 worth of weed.
Now listen, go down to Wake and Bake Pizza, ask for Jojo.
Tell me what the Bob Marley extra crispy. You'll know what you're talking about.
All right, kid. Roger that. One extra crispy coming up.
Stone Age now have the muscle power.
And now they're just high as fuck.
Necessary to evolve to new life.
To the bong in his lap.
Means to harness an even greater.
Dude, what is that caveman cartoon they're watching? That's all I want to know. That was like immediately in my mind after this. I was like, yeah. Oh, he's blown out a hit right there.
Animal power would give him the
He didn't hit the bong, but he blew out a hit.
transportation, the clothing and entertainment needed for his life.
Yeah, I definitely want to see that caveman cartoon one. We should look that shit up. That gave me ideas too, like about stuff to do for our music videos, and you know what I mean. Like we should keep up traditions with fucking some of like our favorite movies and traditions that they have by like having cameos in our music videos, like having a TV in the background with like one of our favorite movies playing.
Yeah.
And then maybe like try to fucking wear something from like a scene from that, or like try to like incorporate other things so like we can connect other universes to our music that we like, or whatever, you know what I mean? Like there's a million things you could do with that, and
that's a good idea because it's really prevalent in movies. They're always sneaking shit in.
Yeah.
And it's not really done as much in music. It's kind of just references, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah. That'd be dope to kind of, it'd be original, you know what I mean? Not a lot of musicians are doing that shit.
Yeah.
It'd be almost like fucking like movie style videos. And you know, that cartoon that they're watching, that dinosaur cartoon, every time that I see that shit or something like it in a movie, they did it in The Cell. You remember that movie with Jennifer Lopez where she goes into like the serial killer's mind or whatever? And she like goes home one night and she's smoking a joint in her bed all high, and she's watching like some weird ass cartoon, and there's like two girls and their hair is like grown together, like it's growing out of one girl's hair and then into another girl's hair, and they're like trying to pull it apart, and she's just like all high and like laughing. And there was just all these weird ass cartoons that were like, you know, the 70s and the 80s version of like Robot Chicken and Family Guy and like all the weird cartoons that we watch now. But it was different, and it was almost like it had like a childhood feel, but they were clearly made for adults that were on drugs. And I want to find like a whole 10 hours of that, you know what I mean?
Yeah, and go on a trip.
Yeah, so I'm going to do I've searched on YouTube for it before, but I get like some things, but they're not that good, and it's not like it doesn't seem like it has the same quality as these other ones do, you know? It's almost like a knockoff of what I'm looking for. So if anybody out there can find us those, then send us links. You know what I mean? Comment on this anywhere, or email them to us, or send them to the contact at naturalhabitatpodcast.com/contact, and let us know where they are, because I want to fucking get high and watch some.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Well, I have one more performance from Tenacious D. We can go out on a smoke sesh, and this is their. I want to say it was a hypothetical performance inside of his head that he was dreaming about that never happened. So, yeah, I think it was. Now that I think about it, this is Master Exploder by Tenacious D.
Ladies and gentlemen, Tenacious D!
Hey, what's up? Me and KG wrote the song 5 minutes ago. It's called Master Exploder.
That's funny.
That's dope.
Yeah, fool's crazy, man.
Mm-hmm. He's fucking
nuts. He can actually
nuts.
sing. He could sing like crazy, even though it's funny. I mean, it's
in his fucking leather vest
yeah.
with fucking spikes on it, and his heavy ass eyeliner. You know, that's what they could do. They could come out like that and do like a Death Clock kind of thing.
Or like a Kiss Junior.
Yep, Kiss Junior.
It could be Peck.
I like it. It took me a second, but I like that. That's copywritten 2016 Ricky Bobby Inc.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Boom.
Boom, bada boom. All right, well, that's another one. Tenacious D in the can, in the film can.
As some say.
Some like us. And we'll see you on Tuesday. We got an extra fresh episode coming up. It's a surprise.
Yeah, you never know.
Yeah, you never know. You fucking blew my cover, man. Great. We don't know what's gonna happen on Tuesday yet.
Yeah, it's
Bye.
a surprise to us even.
The Natural Habitat Podcast.